Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of Hogan's Headlines. Here we are. I discussed this episode's idea earlier this week on Monday. This is going to be my MLB predictions for the upcoming season. It's already started, so I don't really know why I said upcoming, but season's already underway. There's a lot of things to discuss. First week has been incredible. If you haven't gotten to it yet, let's start watching some baseball games. This season's going to be incredible. Rule changes. Teams have loaded up on offense, ready for another season of big bombs. Can we see another player hit 60 home runs like Aaron Judge did last year? I don't know. What is going to happen this year? I'm just going to jump right into it. So I'm going to discuss what I'm going to do for this episode. First and foremost, I'm going to go through the entirety of every single team. I'm not going to go in depth. I'm just going to say who I think is going to win each division and how I think each division is going to be laid out by the end of the year. Obviously, I don't know if this podcast will still be a thing by the time the season is over. So if you want to go back to this episode in October, once the season's over, and kind of compare how I did, feel free. I'm going to try to do the same thing. I'm going to try and get as close as I can to how I think the season is going to play out. And then I'm going to go right to the awards, discuss the AL, who I think is going to win all their awards in the NL. And then I'm going to go over the playoff picture, even all the way down to who I think is winning the World Series this year. I want to get as close as possible, so I try to keep bias for my Dodgers out of the way, but obviously some things are just hard to not do. So I'm going to go and start off right now. I'm not going to discuss Lakers and whatnot just because that's for another episode. This one's going to be all about baseball because of my love for baseball. I just really wanted to talk about this, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first, I'm going to go over the AL, starting with the AL East. Who I think's winning the division this year? Kind of a no-brainer. It's the Yankees. They're stacked. Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo, Garrett Cole. Team's loaded. They were loaded last year. They are probably a lot of people's favorites to win the division, maybe even get to the World Series. But for me, I am really impressed with the rookie they have right now, Anthony Volpe. He is very talented, has shown it throughout the year. They also have Oswaldo Cabrera. So they have a lot of players. They have a lot of studs. They are talented beyond belief. And I think that, well, I'm going to get to that later. I'm not going to discuss who I think is going to win the World Series, but we'll get to that later. I'll just start off by saying Yankees are winning the division. And following them in the 2 seed is going to be the Blue Jays, another team that's ultra talented. A lot of people have them actually might even winning the division, making a huge run in the playoffs. I like the team, but I don't think I'm as high on them as other people are, only because they are a glass cannon to me, in the sense that they are similar to the Padres, where they are very top heavy. Their lineup is crazy. Vlad, Bo, George Springer. They just got a Dalton Varsho. They still have Alejandro Kirk. So team's loaded. But if they have one or two injuries, where are they going from there? You know, like this is a team that has missed a lot of games. George Springer is not always healthy. Vlad has missed games before too. I think that they're offensively going to be unbelievable. I think their pitching is still great. Kevin Gossman looked amazing in the spring. He's looked amazing at the start of the season. So he's going to be one to look out for. I like the team. I just don't think I'm as high on them as other people are. Only because I feel like if they have one, two, three injuries, the team could derail really badly. And I want to root for them. I like the Toronto Blue Jays a lot, but I just don't know. I don't know if they can be better than the Yankees. 3 seed, I have the Rays. Also, I want to mention 1, 2, 3 Yankees, Blue Jays, Rays. I think they're going to be really close. I don't think that they're going to be like a 10-game difference. I think that between the Yankees and the Rays, it could be like 6 games just because they're all ultra talented. Rays, I don't think are going to be as good as they were last year. I still have them winning a good amount of games and capturing that 3 seed in a really, really tough division just because you can't not trust them. Like they're a team similar to like the Dodgers in a sense where as soon as you think that there's something wrong with the team, like their lineup's not as good, they lost some pitchers, they lost this and that, they're still going to win a ton of games. They're still unbelievably well coached, and I don't think we can count out the Rays just because they lost a dude or two. They still have Wander Franco, who's going to be a top 3 shortstop in the league. Randy Rosarena looked like an MVP caliber player in the World Baseball Classic. So they sold Brendan Lau. Like, this team's crazy. This team's crazy. 4 seed, Orioles, another team that I like a lot. I just don't think that the pitching is there yet, even though they have unbelievable rookies. I keep saying unbelievable because they are. So Gunnar Henderson, he might win Rookie of the Year. They have Adley Rutschman, who is a top 3, 4 prospect in the entire league. #1 catcher prospect in the league. He's crazy, switch hitter, unbelievable arm. Yeah, this team's crazy. I just don't think it's their time yet. I think they're a year or two behind once they can make that playoff seed. So I'm gonna wait on them. I'm gonna put them at 4. I do think they go around 500, and they win a lot of games. They still have Cedric Mullins. Team's great. 5 seed, I do have the Red Sox. I don't think the Red Sox are going to be necessarily bad. I think they're going to be like sub 500, just a little before sub 500. They still win maybe like 75 games. Dude, they have talent. Justin Turner's on the team now. Kike Hernandez. They now have Kenley Jansen, I think. So they like have the Dodger rejects. They have Alex Verdugo, another Dodger reject. No, I'm just playing. He's great. They just got traded. Chris Sale is coming back. This team's great. I just don't think. I think they're in a really, really tough division. I'm going to be honest. I think the AL East might be the best division in the league, and I think that they 1 through 5, Yankees 2, Red Sox, won't be a 15-game difference. I think it'll be like 12 at most, because all these teams are phenomenal. And Red Sox and Orioles are a little behind, but they're not like that far behind. That's my predictions for the AL East. Let's go to the AL Central. I got Guardians taking the division. I think that I'm actually higher on this team than most people are, just because I think that what they did in the offseason really cemented and they really took over the parts that they were missing. So they needed some power bats. They went and got Josh Bell. And I think that that is a huge addition to the team. He is a power bat. He doesn't do a lot of on base. He's really just homers, but he is one of the better players at doing that. So I think they did a good job of that. I love Jose Ramirez. I love Andres Jimenez, I'm sorry. He's talented. I don't think we can count out the Guardians. I think that they will actually make a big push this year and show a lot of people that they are a team to reckon with. 2 seed, I have the Twins, another team that I think is going to be really good this year. I think that 1 and 2 will be like well above the rest of the division, and I think that they will have a dogfight for the division. I think that's going to be one of the better races for the division crown that we will see throughout the year. Alongside Yankees and Blue Jays, I just don't know a lot of other teams that will like compete for 1 and 2. Twins, I think, are going to be a team to reckon with. I like the team. They have some talent. Carlos Correa came back. Byron Buxton is a top 5, 6 player when healthy. That's a huge a huge plus. Joey Gallo's on the team. I think that he's going to thrive in Minnesota just because he's not a player that loves the limelight. He was in New York with the Yankees, then with the Dodgers. I think that him being in a smaller market now is going to do him wonders. He's going to hit maybe another 30 home runs. He's not going to be hitting like over 250. That's not happening because he's not a 250 guy. So don't look at me and say like I'm going to say Joey Gallo's hitting 300 with 50 home runs. He's going to hit maybe 28 to 34 home runs, and he's probably going to hit like 230 at best. But he's still going to contribute to the team. They also got Pablo Lopez, who's phenomenal. So I don't know. This team's good. I think that those 1 and 2 Guardians and Twins are teams that you can't roll over for. They're going to be great, talented teams, and I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll go and make a huge playoff run. But we'll see. 3 seed, another glass cannon of a team like the Blue Jays is the White Sox. Talent is no joke. Tim Anderson, Luis Robert, Yasmani Grandal. But like, if these dudes don't perform the way they should be, this team might like be less than 500. And that's crazy to say because like they were one of the better teams just 2 years ago, but last year was an absolute train wreck. And here we are with the White Sox. Well, I don't know what to say because they looked pretty good against the Astros in the first part of the season. If I'm not mistaken, let me check my my ESPN right now because they took a pretty good amount of games against the Astros. Yeah, they went 2 and 2 against the Astros. They won opening day against the Astros 3-2, and then lost the next two 6-3 and 6-4, and they beat the Astros 6-3 in the last game. So I don't know. But then, of course, in White Sox fashion, they lose 12-3 the next day against the Giants at home. So I really don't know. I don't trust the team personally. I don't think you should either. And with the division being Minnesota and Cleveland, this team's not making the playoffs. Fourth seed, I have the Royals. I don't think they're going to be as bad as most people think they're going to be. I think they'll be completely fine, but I don't think that their time is ready yet. I don't really have a lot of notes with this team just because I feel like they're going to be kind of boring. So maybe they go 500. If they do, good for you. Maybe they're better than the White Sox. If things go right and things go wrong for the White Sox, they can definitely flip-flop 3 and 4. But Royals aren't going to be as bad as people think they are going to be. I think they're going to be competitive. So good for you. They have Vinny on the team. They have Bobby Witt. They brought back Zach Greinke. They put in Aroldis Chapman in the rotation. So I'm sorry, in the bullpen. What can he do? I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, maybe they make a huge run. Maybe they hit the 3 seed. They're not going to hit 1 or 2, but maybe they're 3 seed. 5 seed. I have no notes for this team because they're absolute garbage. As the Tigers. I don't even want to say much about them. Team's going to be trash. Bottom 3 in the whole league. AL West. This pains me to say because I hate this team. 1 seed's got to be the Astros, defending champs. They're going to be talented. I mean, they're talented, man. It's a hard team to beat. It irritates me too, just because they are the cheaters. But what are you going to do? I mean, the only plus right now is we don't really know exactly how this team is going to look. I mean, we do. Why am I lying to myself? They're going to be great. I'm just saying that they have lost 2 straight games to the Tigers. They lost twice against the White Sox. They now have at Twins. So, I don't know. I really hope this team is not as good as we think they're going to be, but they're going to be good, and it irritates me. I don't know when to talk about this team. It just pisses me off. Okay, this is where things get interesting, because for the AL West, in the 2 seed, I have the Mariners, as a lot of people do, but I don't trust the team because I think that they had a lot of things going right last year. They got a Blue Jays team in the first round, and they were able to take them out. Good for you, but I think a lot of things went wrong for the Blue Jays. They had injuries. They had bad luck. I think the Mariners were able to capitalize on a lot of those things, and they were low-key exposed by the Astros in the DS. So I like the Mariners, but I do think they regress a little bit. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this team doesn't make the playoffs. I just don't know. I don't know how good this team is actually going to be. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Jerry Rod's going to be incredible. They still have Robbie Ray. They added they still have Ty France. The team has talent, but something about this team is turning me away. Maybe I'll get corrected, and maybe I'll look like a fool by the end of the year. Maybe they'll win 100+ games, but right now, I don't know, and I'll leave it at that. Right? They started off the season. They're 2-4 right now. They lost 3 times to the Guardians, only winning 1 time. They lost to the Angels in the first game, and then last night they beat the Angels. They play them again today, and they're playing every single game so far in Seattle, and they're 2-4. Obviously, like I said it earlier, Guardians are really good, so I'm not surprised that the Guardians are beating them 3 out of 4 times. But Angels first day, 7-3 without Rendon. Okay, I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of Angels, I have them 3rd in the AL West. This team is going to be the talk of the town for the entire year. Obviously, with Ohtani and Trout, they added a lot of good pieces. Tyler Anderson. They added Brandon Drury. They have a better rotation and bullpen than they have in a long time. Some people have them making the playoffs. I think they could if the AL was weaker, but the AL is very, very good right now. And I think it's going to take a lot of good fortune for the Angels to make it to the playoffs. Obviously, it's not impossible. And a lot of things could go right for them if they stay healthy with Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon. Shohei stays on the team. there's still that off chance that he gets traded. Um, if teams like the Mariners don't compete like they're supposed to, they can take advantage of that. They're currently 3-2. Every game played so far has been away, but they did lose to probably the worst team in the league, the A's. So I don't know. I would love to see the Angels in the playoffs, but I just don't know how possible that is because the AL is so good. And there are a lot of teams that I trust more just because this is what the Angels do. They win their first, they go, I don't know, let's just give an example. They go like 30-15 in the first 45 games, and then their bullpen completely goes to crap, and their pitching is terrible, and then they lose 60 of their next 85. So I don't know. They're I want this team to be good so bad, but I don't know. I can't trust them. If once they show me that I can trust them, then I will put them in the playoffs. But I can't trust them right now. 4 and 5, I have Rangers and A's. I don't really want to talk about these teams a lot just because I don't feel like they're going to be as good as people think they're going to be. Obviously, I just said the A's are the worst team in the league, and a lot of people don't think they're going to be that good, so I'll just leave it at that. And then Rangers, the team's going to be not healthy. DeGrom's not healthy. He never is. I don't know why they signed him because I don't trust him. Evaldi's pretty good. Martin Perez, pretty good. Andrew Heaney was good in the Dodgers. Prepare for him to regress because he's not in the Dodgers anymore. This is what Dodger pitchers do. So I'm not even going to get into them because they're wasting my time. And then the NL East, let's jump over to the NL. I have number 1 seed, the Braves. Team is crazy stacked. They are really good. They still have Acuna. They still have, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name right now. Austin Riley. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. They still have Ozzy Albies, Travis D'Arnaud, Matt Olson, Max Fried, Spencer Strider. Like, this is a lot of people's prediction to win the whole thing this year. So they're 4-5 right now. They're currently beating the Cardinals, but they've beaten the Nationals already away. They're currently beating the Cardinals away. They've took the last 2 games at St. Louis against a team that is playoff worthy. So prepare to hear them more about them later on in the pod. 2 seed, I got the Mets. I really like this team. Even without Edwin Diaz, I think that their pitching is still really good. And I think that we will see another big season from Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso. So I think that this is going to be another good 1-2 in division-wise. I think that they will be pretty good mileage ahead of the other 3 in their division. And I wouldn't be surprised if both Mets and Braves win 100+. Both teams are really good. Like, yeah, it's just the truth. Like, the Mets are really, really, really talented. And I don't think we can count them out just because they did lose Edwin Diaz. I do want to discuss about the Mets a little bit more just because they haven't gotten off to the hottest start. They are getting absolutely whooped on by the Brewers right now. They lost 2 days ago 10-0, and then yesterday 9-0. So they can't buy a run. But I don't know. Please tell me I'm wrong. They're currently losing right now. It is 11:22 a.m. on Wednesday, April 5th, and they're losing 4-1 to the Brewers. So Brewers are kicking their ass. I don't know. I want to trust the Mets. I'm going to say they're good. I'm going to say they pick it up. 3 seed in the NL East. I got the Phillies. This is probably my hottest take of the year. I don't think they're going to be that good. I think that with Bryce Harper being out for over half the year, and I think that with Rhys Hoskins being out for what looks like the entire year, I think that Brandon Marsh isn't going to be as good as they think that he's going to be. I don't trust Alec Boehm. Zach Wheeler might take a downward spin. So I don't love him personally. They got Trey Turner, and he's probably going to have a breakout year. Some people think he's going to win MVP. So I'm obviously jealous that he's now on the Phillies and not the Dodgers. But yeah, I just don't think they're going to be that good. I think their bullpen took a huge L. So I have them winning maybe like 86 games, like 90. Actually, I'll say 90. I'll say 90 games for the Phillies. I'll be I'll be fair because they did win the NL last year and they took the Astros to their limit, but I'm not going to trust them as much as people think they're going to be because I just don't think that they're as talented as they were last year. 4 seed, I got the Marlins. Sandy Alcantara is really their entire team. He's incredible. Would not be surprised if he went back to back with Cy Young winning. He's really good. But other than that, where do you go? They're in a tough division. I'm sorry, Marlins. It's not your time. And then 5 seed, I got the Nationals. Another team that it's not your time, but I think that they will be incredible in like 5 years because they have prospects galore. And they could make serious damage in like 2030. But right now, just wait on a second, keep getting better, get those reps in, and maybe by like 2028, 2030, I'll start making you as contenders. NL Central, I got the Cardinals winning the division. I like the team, talented. Arenado, reigning MVP, Goldie. They got Tommy Edmonds still. I mean, team's great. They got Tyler O'Neill. Their pitching is suspect, and the team's kind of boring, but like that's kind of their thing. Like that's that's why that people like them because they're boring. They just go and win games, and they go and kind of show us that we're wrong. There was that big story that came out last night where Oliver Marmoyle, he's the current manager of the Cardinals. He kind of just like ripped in Tyler O'Neill for his effort, so that was kind of interesting. And they haven't gone off to the hottest start, but I'm gonna trust them. It's the Cardinals. They always pick up at the end of the year. It's what they do. They come in and they win their last like I don't know what they did a couple years ago. I think it was last year, maybe a year before that. I think it was a year before that, where the Cardinals ended up winning like what was it, like 60 of their last like 80, and it was like holy crap, this team's crazy. They'll probably do the same thing. They'll probably make a move at the deadline. Yeah, they're them. 2 seed to get the Brewers. It's the same Brewers of the last couple years. Pitching is unbelievable. Offense remains suspect. I mean, they can be great, but they have to have the bats wake up. They need Christian Yelich to become Christian Yelich again, and we haven't seen that in 2 years, maybe even 3. So, yeah. I mean, if they can somehow be like top 10 in offense, this team is a underdog candidate to win the whole thing. But I'm a firm believer in you have to show me that you're making improvements before I trust you. I'm not going to just say it because people are saying that you're making the improvements. I want to see it in the big time. And I will give Brewers credit when I see them score more than like 4 runs because that's what they do. They win games 3-2, 2-1, 1-0. Or they lose games 2-1, 3-1. It's just what they do. Right now they're at 4-4, which is like not Brewers like. And I think Corbin Burns is pitching, which is actually even crazier because he is unbelievable. Oh, he is pitching. Dang. Oh, you know why? Because Pete Alonso just hit a home run about 40 seconds ago. See? Pete Alonso, what'd I say? All right, so 3 seed, I got the Cubs. They're kind of not ready yet, but they have talent. Cody Bellinger's on the team now. Dansby Swanson. Nico Horner is on the team. Ian Happ. Team's good. I just don't think it's their time yet. I think they're in a division that has 2 teams that are much better than them. 4 seed, I got the Pirates, and then 5 seed, I got the Reds. Again, it's kind of what I said earlier. These teams just don't really have enough to talk about. Only other than O'Neal Cruz could make a giant jump, but that remains to be seen. Let's jump to the NL West. 1 seed. All right. I hope people don't hate me for this because this is probably bias, but I'm going to say it. I got the Dodgers winning the division. I know that like 99% of ESPN analysts and Fox analysts and all that say that the Padres are winning the division, they're winning the NL, and they're winning the World Series. That's not me. That's not me. Dodgers got this, baby. Keep doubting us, and we will keep proving you wrong. This is what the Dodgers do best. They have people doubting them, and then they go and win 110 games. I don't think that the Dodgers will win 110 games this year. I think that it's more reasonable to get like 102 or 100, maybe even 99. But it's still the Dodgers. They still have Freddie. They still have Mookie. They still have Max Muncy. They have arguably the best hitter at the moment, Will Smith. He is on fire right now. He is currently, let's get in this, he's hitting 421 He's got 3 home runs in the last 3 games. He's got 10 ribbies. He's 1.000 slugging, OPB of 0.478. The Dodgers are also like, the last couple games I've been watching have been really interesting because, like, I mentioned this earlier. They lose 2-1 to the Diamondbacks twice, but then they score 8-2, 10-1, 13-4, and they beat the Rockies yesterday 5-2. I would also watch out. Max Muncy just had his first home run yesterday. Is this the first of many? Urias looks great. He looks in true Cy Young fashion. They're going at Arizona today. I think today is a test of how the season will go. If they can take, I don't know, let's say they got 4 games coming up all in a row at Arizona. Tonight is Dustin May. After that, they got Kershaw, Syndergaard, and then Michael Grove. I'm going to say if they can win 3 of the 4, then I'm like, okay, they're 1 seed. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. 2 seed Padres, they're talented. There's really no other team that can compete with the Dodgers. I would not be surprised if they end up being the 1 seed in the division, but I am going to say the same thing to them as I said to the Blue Jays and the White Sox. Glass cannon. They're so top heavy, it's unbelievable. Yes, you have Juan Soto. Yes, you have Manny Machado. Yes, you have Fernando Tatis. I get it. Yes, you have Xander Bogaerts. I get it. Team is crazy. I don't think we've ever seen a 1-4 as good as this in years. But what's going to happen if Manny Machado keeps getting hurt, because he's done this before? If Juan Soto gets hurt somehow, if Tatis gets hurt, he's done that before. The pitching is good. Joe Musgrove, though, he's hurt. Yu Darvish, he's kind of shaky. Same with Blake Snell. He was incredible at the end of last year, but before that, pretty shaky. The bullpen is great. Josh Hader was shaky last year. Like, people have them going and winning 105 plus games, but everything has to go right, and I don't think that's possible. I think that if everything goes right, yes, you can win 105 games, but I think more reasonable is them winning 98 till at max. But like, I don't know. Am I just walking in a contradiction? Because I don't know. Whatever. Everything has to go right for this team. If it doesn't, then they're a 98 win team, and they're not as good as the Dodgers. The D-backs are my 3 seed in the NL West, a team that I think is going to be really good this year and surprise a lot of people. And then the 4 seed Giants, 5 seed Rockies. Sorry, I'm kind of just speeding this up because I'm kind of taking a long time. So I'll just to say D-backs are going to be good. Probably within like next 3 years, they'll probably go to the playoffs, but not right now. Giants, I think Gabe Kepler is going to get fired this year, and then Rockies are a train wreck. The AL awards, I got an MVP. It's kind of Shohei's to lose. So I'm just going to keep it at Shohei. And I think this is his last AL award because next year he's winning the NL MVP with the Dodgers. Cy Young, I got Garrett Cole. It's his time to win at least one. He's got to get one. And these baseball awards are very much like story driven, to where if they have a great story, they have a much better chance of winning the award. It's very NFL like too. This happens all the time. But I think that Garrett Cole's, this is his to lose. And it's same as Shohei. This is their story. They need to get another one. Rookie of the year is going to be Volpe on a great team. He's going to be good. Maybe not as good as other rookies, but because he's on a really good team that goes first in their division and possibly first in their entire league, then it's just going to help his chances. Manager of the year, I got Terry Francona for the Guardians. He's going to make the team better than people think they're going to be, sorry. And then I like him. I like Terry. Comeback player of the year, I got Chris Sale with the Red Sox. I think he's going to put up really good numbers with the losing team, but it still gives him a head because he's a well-quality name. NL awards, I actually don't have Trey Turner or Manny or Juan Soto like a lot of people do. I'm actually going to take Ronald Acuna Jr. I think that he's probably the most talented player in the league, and I think that he will take the league by storm this year, just like he does. He tore his ACL a couple years ago, and it kind of hurt his chances to winning any awards. But I think that this is his year to show the people that he is the man, and that he will prove a lot of people wrong. Cy Young, I'm going to take Corbin Burns. I think he's the best pitcher in the league, in all of baseball, actually, and it's hard to bet against a man who is just consistently phenomenal. Rookie of the year, I got Corbin Carroll. He's on the Diamondbacks. If you haven't seen him already, the man is the speed of light, and he is going to be hard to catch. And with bases are bigger, he's probably going to set some sort of record with the Diamondbacks for like most stolen bases. Um, yeah, I like him. He's going to be really good, and I'm jealous he's in the Diamondbacks because if he was in the Dodgers, I think we would have been even better. Manager of the year, again, people have what is that man's name? He's the manager for the Padres. I'm blanking on the name right now, and I'm sorry for wasting your time. What is that man's name? While I'm thinking about it, people just have him winning it because Padres are going to be great. Bob Melvin. They have Bob Melvin winning it. Like, I'm bored of that. I'm bored of this whole Padres hype. So I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say Oliver Marmol for the Cardinals. I think he's going to make the team better than people think they're going to be, and they're going to overshine. I'm sorry, overperform. That's the word I was looking for. Overperform. Comeback player of the year. They got to give the Padres something, so I'm going to give it to Tatis because, again, story driven. They want the Padres to be incredible and compete with the Dodgers. And even if he's not incredible, it's still a name that is recognizable to win an award like this, just like Chris Sale. So the playoffs, I got the 1 seed in the AL being the Yankees, 2 seed Astros, 3 seed Guardians, 4 seed Blue Jays, 5 seed Twins, and 6 seed Rays. 1 seed for the NL, I got the Braves, 2 seed Dodgers, 3 seed Cardinals, 4 seed Padres, 5 seed Mets, 6 seed Brewers, not the Phillies. Not the Phillies. Teams that I might have missed out in the playoffs that are surprising to you are the Mariners, the Phillies, Angels, but I don't trust them. Sorry. All right, playoffs. I'm going to say the Guardians and the Blue Jays both win their wild card matchups against the Twins and the Rays, respectively. And then the 3 seed Cardinals take out the 6 seed Brewers, and the 4 seed Padres take out the 5 seed Mets. So it's just 1 through 4 in both playoff brackets. Again, it's kind of like a cop out because that's kind of what is anticipated to happen, but I just think that's what's going to happen. So my playoffs are kind of boring, but they're a little interesting, but they're still a little boring. So that would leave the 1 seed Yankees against the 4 seed Blue Jays, which I think in the DS, ALDS, and I think that's the Yankees taking that. And then the 2 seed Astros versus the 3 seed Guardians in the ALDS. I think this goes to 5 games, but because of the experience the Astros have, they take it in 5. That leaves the Yankees versus the Astros in an ALCS rematch from the last couple years. And finally, the Yankees get past the Astros, overcome their Astro demons, and finally head to the World Series with Aaron Judge. The 1 seed Braves would take on the 4 seed Padres in the NLDS. I think Braves win that in 4. 2 seed Dodgers versus 3 seed Cardinals in the NLDS as well. And I think the Dodgers take that in 5. 1 seed Braves versus 2 seed Dodgers in NLCS. I actually think the Braves are going to beat the Dodgers in that in probably 6 games, just because I think they have more talent. That would leave Yankees and Braves in the World Series. I think it would be ultra competitive. I think that it would probably go to 7 games, and it would be one of the better World Series we've seen in a long time. It's hard to say that because we've had a lot of good World Series recently, like the Braves. Braves and Astros, and then we had Astros and Phillies last year. Both were great. I think it's just going to keep giving us better and better and better World Series matchups. I do think the Braves win it in 7, and I think that Austin Riley would win the World Series MVP. That is my episode for today. I'm sorry I kind of sped that up at the end, but I do have a limit on how many minutes I can record on here, and it kind of was making me scared. I only have a few left for this free trial, so I do have to skedaddle right here. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. Go ahead and comment or send me a text on what you think of the episode. I'm sorry the quality has been kind of bad. I'm using different microphones and different recording software, and it's just making episodes kind of jump up and down. But I do love making these episodes. I do love talking about baseball. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a text or come find me. You know who I am. You know I love talking about baseball. Last thing I'm going to say is go Lakers. Tonight they're playing the Clippers in one of the biggest games of the entire year. I would think actually the biggest game of the entire year. If Lakers win, then they'll jump in the 6th seed and avoiding the play-in, and that would be incredible. I'm going to take the Lakers. I mean, why not? So go Lakers. They win by 6, beat the Clippers, and yeah, let's go. Bye.